All right. So my unknown question is the question that you do not know about. Here's the situation. You wake up and somehow by some miracle, you realize that you are in a parallel Earth. You already know all the information about your family. And somehow with this information, you know that in the next week, you're going to be fine and you'll just be transported back to your main reality. So in that time, what is the first thing you look up?
Are we worried about affecting the space-time continuum? Or do we have...
No, there's no the ramifications.
We would be in an alternate universe. We would transfer
alternate
to
universe.
Like,
all right.
Let's even make it more specific. You go on to Google. What's the first thing you Google? Assuming that Google is there.
So the idea is you're looking for things that are like different in this universe.
Yeah, like what is the first thing you'd be like? I wonder what this was like in this universe. How did it change in this universe, or how is it different?
Ooh, that's a good. Did you ever see the movie Yesterday?
No.
Oh, with the Beatles movie? I haven't watched that yet.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Watch it because a moment happens, and all of a sudden there is no such thing as the Beatles except this one guy knows it, and he recreates the music. But everything is exactly the same except when he says, "Oh, I'd like to get a Coke," and they go, "What's a Coke?" So he knows that things are slightly different. And it's a beautiful movie. I thoroughly recommend it. If you haven't seen it, please watch it.
It's on the list for sure.
In the Into the Spider-Verse, that's the animated Spider-Man movie. They had a moment like that where in the universe that movie takes place in, they kind of did something like what's Coke or what's Pepsi to kind of help set you that it's not this universe. It is actually different from the universe that we know. I thought that was a really subtle. Yeah, it was early-ish on.
Do you know what I would do, Chris? I would look up the nearest Chipotle.
I would do.
Once again,
would you compare the menus?
I'm not that deep.
Okay.
I would compare the cost. Which, by the way, I got a gripe with Chipotle.
Okay.
My wife. It was my birthday yesterday.
I love food gripes.
It was my birthday yesterday. And we went to Chipotle, my wife and I, for lunch. It was our last lunch date before the kids, they ended school today. They had a half day today. So we better go for a little lunch before the kids, it'll be harder to do that. We go to Chipotle. Last time I was at Chipotle here in Northeast Ohio, which I'll admit has been a while, a chicken burrito with all the fixins was $6.50. Yesterday, at the Chipotle near my house, the burrito is $8.50 now. It is now up
Prices
$2
have gone up.
more.
Everything's gone up. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the span of a couple days.
It's been over a year since I've been.
Oh, okay. Right. Yes.
Or at least that I went in and ordered and paid attention to what the cost was. It's very likely I went in to say I'm getting the burrito anyways and didn't care.
So are you saying that you would check to see if prices are the same?
I'm just saying, is there Chipotle in this timeline? And also, I would also like to know who's the best NBA team, I think. And if there's even an NBA, if there's even a sports organized sports like that, who's the best major league team? Who's the best NFL team?
Yeah, I would
be fantastic.
I would check the sports scores to see what that's like. Is there some, did the Dodgers actually win in 2017 against the Astros? There was no cheating, and the Dodgers did win. Yeah, that may be a good question.
I want to know: did Tom Brady ever get what's coming to him for cheating? And Greg and Belichick too. Did he ever get
Deflategate?
Oh my gosh, more than that too.
So I'm stuck on the concept of how do I? How do I know that? So I wake up. I'm in a parallel universe. How do I know? What is my clue?
How do you know? It's just like whoever sent you there has given you that information. So you just know it. You don't, there's no
obvious, like I don't look in the mirror and my hair is a different color.
Yeah. It's just like for some reason I was just trying to think, how would I phrase it so that you're not focusing on how do you get back, but it's like all of those things have been taken care of. You're there. So it's just like, oh, this is cool. I'm kind of here for a week. I know I'm here. So what do I look up immediately?
First thing I need to know, this is going to sound really depressing and dark and I apologize, but is my dad alive? or did he
Okay,
die? Like
that's a good one.
That's
that
the
is
first thing I
good.
need to know.
That's good. That is
That's way
a
deeper
good
than my
question.
answer.
Sorry. Well, because
Yeah.
because the cancer that did my dad and kind of came out of nowhere, was very unexpected. So I'd like to think that if there are parallel universes, there's got to be parallel universes where he never got sick that way. So am I in one? And if he is alive, you better believe I'm spending that week with him. That's it.
I'd wondered the same thing.
And then I'm done.
Alive?
No, that was actually really, you know something, that would make a great Twilight Zone, because that's absolutely beautiful. It really is, because the cancer was completely unexpected. So so you could easily make that one small change. Yeah,
it was rare. It was gallbladder cancer, which is a rare cancer to begin with.
Okay.
And yep, it kind of all happened pretty fast. And we used to joke, before that all happened, that he was going to live like long enough that he would wind up living with me. And the joke was, I needed to make sure that wherever I was, I had room for his model trains. I actually really truly believe that was going to be in my future, that I was going to have a room dedicated to model trains in my house, because he'd be here too.
What about you, Cris? Have you answered the question?
I'm of course I'm torn. It's like one of the questions I'd look up probably early on was Trump ever president? Because I would love to know there's a reality where he was just the Apprentice host.
Right.
And then of course I got to look up Trek and be like, all right, what is Star Trek like? Is this similar? Do other shows have extra seasons?
Yeah. Did Enterprise go 7 or 8?
Yeah. And my favorite thing to think about is that in the alternate universe, Star Trek would just take like whatever alternate universe we've seen in the show would just be that show. So it's like alternate TNG would just be, Picard did die in Best of Both Worlds, and it's Riker in command, and we're that kind of stuff. But I don't know, my mom, I'd want to see if she was still alive. See if my grandparents were alive. Maybe go spend time with them, and then.
Well, that would be the one thing to check to see if any of them are. Then that's you definitely know that you're an alternate universe or your alternate reality. And if you have 1 week, do you cause such havoc and mayhem? And knowing that what happens in alternate universe stays in alternate universe.
Well, no, I feel bad, because there's an alternate
too.
Me that would have to come back to that. And I would also be hoping that an alternate me in my universe is not messing my life up, because I got to go back to that.
Well, yeah, because you don't know if it's going to have an effect or not. But if you go, oh, this is Groundhog Day, I'm going to go put the marmot and have him drive the truck.
But it's not Groundhog Day.
If it was Groundhog Day, I'm hitting up I'm doing what he's doing. I'm hitting up the McDonald's. I'm hitting up donut shops. I am just going to order everything and be like, calories don't matter.
Right. That's a great.
You guys just gave me a great idea for I had to write a little note. You guys gave me a great idea for a science fiction story.
Oh,
okay.
On this topic, on this
we get bylines inspired by the Gang of Four. Okay.
All right. I will remember that. Inspired by.
Also, I'd be curious to see what the junk food situation is like, even though it's not the future, because I was watching, there was the show Minority Report, which was short-lived. But my favorite thing about that show was that all junk food was somehow able to taste the same, but they removed all of the unhealthy aspects of it. And I was blown away, even though the show was supposed to be about, people can predict the future with crime or crime events that haven't happened. I'm like, that's interesting, but let's get to the junk food. So I want to know how that's possible.
I like the Tom Cruise Minority Report film.
Yeah, that
was pretty decent.
To rewatch that.
Yeah, I've only watched it once. I think I saw it in the theater actually, but
me too.
I thought it was pretty good, as I recall. Yeah. So we're also assuming that wherever we go is somewhat friendly to us. We're not in any grave danger.
Oh no, it's just like we're hanging out.
You're
basically, you wake up and you're in your alternate home, and it's just, without getting into too much detail, it's like everybody's fine, it's okay, you already have all the information you need about your family. So it's like, I don't know how that would work, but it's just like Q sent you there and he gives you all the information you need to survive it. Or
I can tell you there were a number of Twilight Zone episodes that have been devoted to this type of subject.
Parallel universes are great. I really do. In science fiction, I think they're great.
Mm-hmm.
The one that terrifies me, though, the episode where it's like no one remembers who the guy is, and then he like wakes up, and then his wife is different, and she doesn't know who he doesn't know who she is, and I'm like, that's terrifying.
Mm-hmm. I believe that was the one where he's an actor. You know. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think we just did you just put up the 10 minutes? Are we out of time?
We're at 10 minutes. We ran out the clock on that one.
Good job, Cris.
Gotta beat the clock.